Hey guys, it's Bob. Welcome back to Modern Life with the 70s Mind. How's everyone doing? Now, this video is special in that it is not going out to the normal YouTube channel. It's only for subscribers to my channel. So that'll be you Patreon people and you YouTube membership people. To all of you, thank you so much. I'd really like some more feedback from you on what you'd like to hear, because I do make your requests priority. And two people have now asked me for some more rock and roll type stuff. So why not? I love rock and roll. That's really the music that I grew up with. And I'm going to be a little selfish on this one. I'm going to play one that I just love. Montrose, Sammy Hagar. Is there any better combination? I'm going right to the top on this one, people. I'm not messing around. This is hands down my favorite. I'm gonna say it. It's my favorite all-time rock and roll song. Maybe it's not the best song, but to me, it has so many memories and it just means so much to me that it's my number one rock and roll song. There's something about the way the song starts out with the drums, and then Sammy's vocals just kick in, and it just takes it to the top. I don't think I've ever played this song, I got to be honest, at a volume lower than like a 9. And that was only because I had the love of my heart, because I was still living with my parents. And that was a long time ago now. This wasn't last year. um, I didn't want the pictures falling off the wall. So I turned the volume down just enough so that the speakers wouldn't totally knock everything around. In case you haven't heard of the band Montrose, they're an American band. They were formed in 1973 by guitarist and founder Ronnie Montrose. I was lucky enough to see them that same year when their first album, I think, was just self-titled, called Montrose. And to this day, my ears are ringing. I'm already starting to lose some hearing, and I'm sure that's just because all the concerts I went to when I was young. And I blame Montrose for at least 10% of my hearing loss, because that concert was insane. And I was planted right in the front of the speakers, like third row, just in front of the speakers, a little off from the center. And it just, oh, my ears were ringing for days. The song I'll be playing is Rock Candy. And that's from the album that I just talked about, that it was their first album. And I think it's probably one of the most underrated albums of all time. If you have a chance, if you like rock and roll, search Montrose, and just their first album is just called Montrose, and listen to it. It's just an uh, amazing album. Unfortunately, Ronnie Montrose passed away in 2012, I believe. And Sammy Hagar eventually moved over to fronting Van Halen for a number of years. I didn't like him in that band that much. I really preferred David Lee Roth, who was kind of a crazy guy, but just the band to me seemed to gel a little better with David Lee Roth over Sammy Hagar. Big Sammy Hagar fan, though. I really do like him. So, okay, let me get my headphones on. I'll be right back. Okay, hold on. Okay, we are back. First off, I need to say again, guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me on this. You guys are the best of the best, and I appreciate you guys just so much. And I am going to be working very hard to get a lot more content out that's just for you guys, so you get a little extra. Not letting up at all on my other content, but just throwing you guys some extra stuff. I'm even going to maybe in 2023 dabble in some shorts. I know those are starting to become pretty popular, so I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with that. So I am cheating here a little bit, as in that I do know this song. I know it very well. So I'm cheating. But when we go back and listen to old rock and roll, I know pretty much all of it, just like probably you do. So I kind of pulled this one out because maybe some of you haven't heard of these guys before. I'm sure you've heard of Sammy Hagar, who's part of this, but I'm not sure you have all heard of the band Montrose, which was a very early band that Sammy was involved in. So let's go ahead and start playing this. The beginning of this, every time I play it, I crank it, just every single time. So I won't do it here. So this will be the exception. But here we go. Montrose singing Rock Candy. beginning. Okay, I need to pause this. Are you guys listening to this? Is your volume turned up? Because I'm going to start this over one more time. Turn your volume up. You can't listen to the song at a quiet level. It's even annoying me that in the headphones it's not that loud, but I'm going to deal with it. So this is just, to me, it's just a raw 70s rock and roll sound to it. It's just awesome. So, all right, I'll just start this again, and I won't cut it so early. Here we go. I just love this. Is the volume up? Pretty simple song, but it's just really impactful to me. Play a little bit more before I pause. Okay, we're going to stop it there. We're a little past halfway done. Again, if you don't have the volume turned up, I suggest you walk away from your computer or whatever it is you're listening to this on. Get some headphones or start it from the beginning and crank it, because this is just one of those songs. And you know what about this song? I didn't even realize it. I never paid that attention as a younger kid. Never paid that much attention to the lyrics. Honestly, when I would play this song, I thought it was more about some guy that likes a girl. He's calling her rock candy, hard, sweet, and sticky. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't get involved in stuff like that too much. But this is actually a really uplifting, positive song. And here's why. He just sang it, but in case you didn't pick up on it, he says, when you're 17 reaching for your dreams, don't let no one reach it for you. Pull up your pants, stretch out, take a chance. If it can be done, you can do it. So, I mean, that's actually really positive. So us rock and rollers back in the day, we were just spreading positive messages out. Wow. That's good old-fashioned rock and roll, isn't it? It's just amazing what these guys did on their debut album. They were just beginning to really, um, get a feel as to where they were going when they put this album out. They were so new, and how this band is so, I don't know, underrated, I guess, is just beyond me because they were just packed with talent. And this is so much fun to listen to. They definitely had, and actually we did. We definitely had momentum back then, didn't we? Because this was just, I mean, this song would come on and your energy levels would kick up, and it was just great. We had our whole lives in front of us back then, and rock and roll was leading the way for sure. um, to hell with everything else, right? It's just too funny. Those were such powerful years growing up, and you know what? I didn't make too many bad decisions, believe it or not. So I feel like I did pretty good. I came out of them relatively unscathed. So lucky me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and play this to the end. So again, crank up your volume, and here we go. Big finish. Ronnie Montrose really was a great guitar player. And this, to me, is just the epitome of rock and roll. It was just wonderful. The fun thing about this song, um, if you were ever at a concert in the 70s, this is exactly what it sounded like, isn't it? Um, a lot of recordings in the 70s actually sounded a lot like the bands played back then, which was interesting. I really don't like going to a concert, and I don't mean to slam a band because I really like them, but Fleetwood Mac, to me, I've seen them like 3 times live, and I'm really sad about Christine McVie, huh? Ugh, she had an amazing voice. But the thing about Fleetwood Mac is, when I saw them at least, some of their songs were really good. And I think Stevie Nicks was probably the biggest culprit of this, is that she would change the songs up so much that, yeah, it still sounded like it, but it just didn't sound the same. You fall in love with songs for a certain reason. And when you go see them live and they change them up and it's just completely different, personally, I don't like that. Maybe some people like hearing another version or another take of the song, but that just really wasn't me. But Montrose, they sounded just like this, and it even has a 70s concert sound to it. It was just, this is just an amazing recording. This is probably, if I had to choose one album, this is probably the album that really kind of got me more into heavy metal. It was such a high benchmark they set, though, and it was hard to find many bands, at least in my opinion, that were much better than this as far as just pure heavy metal rock and roll. Sammy's voice was clearly at his best here. He was really strong, and the musicians were as well. Plus, this was only 1973, guys. There were some great bands coming out then. Great bands coming out then. There, there, then, then. I can get away with this because there's only a number of you that are going to see this. So, anyway, I know Grand Funk had come out right about then. Deep Purple, who was like an amazing band, I just love them. They were coming out. Allman Brothers, Steely Dan. I'm sure there's some more. Pink Floyd. Um, Come on, help me! Somebody jump in and help me. Edgar Winter Group. I like them a lot too. So come on, there was such great music coming out at this time, and this is just one of those bands that I think were really great and really kind of marked what this era was about. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed that because I'm going to give you a final thoughts. You know what? I think when I do these reactions for you guys, I just feel a little more relaxed. I don't feel like um, I have to come with my full game. I can just kind of relax and chill with you guys, which I think is kind of cool. I am going to try to do a live feed at some point in 2023. And maybe you guys, if you happen to catch it, we could chat a little bit while I'm doing it live. So I thought that might be kind of fun. So that will be coming up for sure. I am really nervous about doing that because there's no, I'm going to go back and talk about that after I re-record it. It is when it's there, it's there. And man, it's hard enough doing this, guys, in front of a camera, and then to do it live with people actually chiming in at the same time, just to me is going to be something. But anyways, all right, let me get my headphones off. I'm going to do final thoughts. Hold on. Okay, I hope I didn't overplay that song because, I mean, as far as talking it up, because I just think it's an amazing rock and roll song. And again, you guys have priority here. It's each and every one of you. So if you have requests that you want, please let me know. I forget what the song was that somebody else requested, a rock and roll song, and I'll try to get to that exact song just off the top of my head. I can't think of what it was. But how about this song though? Ronnie's riffs were flat out amazing, if not brilliant. He was such a talented guitar player, and it's really sad that he passed away. It was just I watched some as I was digging out this, and I was looking for a live version of this song, which I really didn't find anything that went back to like the 70s because that's really I didn't want a newer version of it. I wanted to play it as it was played back in the 70s. But seeing Ronnie on stage in his, just a little bit prior to him passing was really hard to watch. Ugh. So, anyways, I need to get this album on vinyl and hang it up here and also play it again like it was meant to be played, like on a turntable. I gotta be honest though, I think when I first got this album, it was probably on an 8-track tape, which, if you look back here, I do love my 8-track tapes. I still plug tapes into that once in a while, just because I think it's fun. I'm sorry, this album is just flat out timeless, and I don't know what you thought of the song. I hope you liked it. But no matter what the popularity of it is, this, in my opinion, this album is going to go down in history as one of the greatest heavy metal albums of all time. I just think it's that good. To this day, anyone who hears it for the first time is wondering how the heck they missed it. I've turned on a number of my friends to this album, and they're like, "How did I not ever catch up or catch this band on the radio?" And I think it's because unless you were listening to FM, if you were only an AM radio guy, you probably wouldn't have caught it because I'm not sure this was really played much on AM, but on FM, I think it had a fairly decent rotation. But you know what? I look back when I was young, I really didn't listen to the radio all that much. I was more listening to my 8-tracks and cassettes and vinyl records. I really didn't listen to the radio as much as I do now, like on Spotify. Although I don't listen to the radio much, I do check out new music on Spotify, which is always a lot of fun just to put a little time in there. So, okay, how was that? Did you guys like it? Again, thank you, all of you, for all of your support. It means the world to me, you guys, and I will definitely be putting more out for you guys. And again, I want to do what you want to hear, so please give me some feedback. It's probably best to drop me an email and not put a comment in the video, because I just don't see them as much. I get so many comments on everything that it's really hard to catch everything. I do my best, but replying to everything is impossible. But I do try to keep an eye out for you guys. So email me and then it won't be a problem. All right. Peace out, you guys. I'll talk to you next time. All right. And again, thank you. I appreciate it. Bye bye.